Oh, come on, there we go. As usual, takes a little time. There we go. Hi there, welcome to number one Geeky Design Saz, and we're back with some more Project Zomboid multiplayer. So hopefully you'll be able to have some fun with us. I actually just want the chat open here, don't I? So let's just go back to that. Yeah. Let's get back to the game, shall we? So, as you may be able to tell, Chris and I have managed to get ourselves as far as here, which is pretty much the legacy run all the way up from hither. I may have just cut straight across that road, that thing there, to get there, but all in all, we are pretty much at an advantage here. That's the automatic emergency broadcast thing, so let's put that already, so we'll know what the weather's like. Hello. Army pants, military helmet, boots, army beret, scrap electronics, first aid kit, good stuff. I think Chris and I were just taking a walk up here, weren't we? Just to see how far the rabbit hole goes. And that's when I got tired, I think. So, sorry if you've missed me for a couple of weeks. Had a little bit of a mental health break. Wasn't feeling too brilliant about myself for a while, and things were just getting on top of me. So, ended up going on holiday with my wife and my kids, and just ended up just recharging my battery, really. So, I'm back here, ready and willing to go. And hopefully we will have some fun tonight. Oh, cross, I'm in admin mode still. Oh, no wonder. So it's because I have to be system administrator, for those who don't understand. You have to switch off your admin. You automatically start off with admin privileges, effectively. I think we've come to the end of the road here. Okay. Right, so, as you can see from the Louisville map, this area here, I can see why it's clicked off, because it's probably just the end of the map completely. It's kind of like farmland that goes into the back of Louisville, which might be a better option than storming straight through the middle, where everybody is. So we could use this area up here as a staging post. And I wonder if I can get past this car here with these doors, these gates. I'm going to get hot, yes. That I do appreciate. Well, that ain't gonna help, is it? I might have just brought all the biters to the yard as well here. So next thing's next. Will this gate open? Yes, it will. Right. Let's just take things nice and easy. Got these two up here. Okay, so we've got about 5 up there. We'll just work around the area, shall we? Though it is starting to get dark, which obviously makes things a little bit more dangerous for me. I was going to say for myself, but then decided to say me, so that's why I went Mizzy. You know how it goes. Your mouth doesn't generally tend to follow what your brain tells it. Well, especially in my case. Not quite a sneaky pop there. Got another friend to pit. By the way, don't forget to press the old like button if you're watching this as a VOD. I don't think there's anybody watching me at the moment because I don't think anyone's expecting me to do a live stream just yet. But I'm not exactly the great self-promoter, I'm afraid. One of my flaws. I'd call it my English reserve. Looks like there's a farm coming up. Also see how long I can last as well. Obviously been quite cautious that the tiredness has been getting to me, and I've been falling asleep during streams, and it isn't great. Nobody wants to hear me snore. Okay. This is interesting. Where's the old bread knife? That was a hunting knife. It's a bit large for a hunting knife sticking through the body, but there you go. Right. Now, I kind of think I know where I am, because I did join a group of people that did base up somewhere around here. It's for hunting elephant. Alright, okay. Hi, Chris, you're up, mate. Can't even remember what you replied to me about. That's how much my brain is working at the moment. Good stuff, mate. I'm full of some vigour. I would say renewed vigour, but the size of a knife, right, yeah. Would say renewed vigour, but no, just kind of vigour. Just better than a kick in the teeth, or better than I was vigour, I think is probably the best way of looking at it. Amazing what a holiday can do for you, even with 2 kids. I mean, Ella had a great time, which is always good to see. There we go. Drag 2 of them away at least. Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a farmhouse down at the bottom of here. Unless I'm hitting the end of the map here. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if I am looking at this. Wait a second, let me have a quick look at the map. Oh, I'm not at the end of the map, I'm just at the end of the map that has Louisville in it. Interesting. There's definitely houses down here. Might as well just check down here, see what two houses are down here. Well, there's the house. We're going to have to deal with these guys first. They want nothing to do with me, do they? Getting a bit peckish. And they've buggered off over there. Looks like I might be stuck with a bowl of oatmeal here. I'm not getting in that way. Not getting in there either. Not getting in there. So last chance. Bathroom. Bedroom. Even. Take the canned carrots. Do you know what? I haven't actually seen my things for what? Ah! I was building my carpentry up. Well, that can be solved pretty damn quickly. To the next book, at least. How far away am I? Oof. Might as well take these tables and chairs apart then. I mean, I'm a gnat's nadger away from needing to read the next book. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm a gnat's nadger from getting halfway through level 3. It's a good thing I concentrate, isn't it? A lot of people say, does Saz know what he's doing? And most people who watch me go, no, he doesn't. Want to watch a complete incompetence? Welcome to the stream. Speaking of which, don't forget to press the like button, folks. And if you're also watching it and you haven't subscribed yet, want to press that as well, just to add to my list of Saz fans. There we go. That's that out of the way. Okay, interesting. I was kind of expecting 2 houses there. Well, if I don't need to go, there's no point me going, is there? And check further up here. So yeah, getting back into the old streaming game, it's sometimes it's a bit of a slow start. I mean, when you first start doing this sort of thing, you're kind of like all full of ideas and how great it's going to be, and then you get that whole realization that if you don't have a cleavage and you haven't got an OnlyFans, then you're pretty much screwed when it comes to fan bases. Sometimes luck, sometimes it's being able to game the system, but all the same, I'm not one of those people. 4 years I've had this blinking channel. I mean, I got a cool Discord group. I mean, it's not the most vibrant group in the world. It does. I mean, the true question is, do I really want the responsibility with my mental health issues? Probably not. I kind of like being the little guy. I hope we can get to 1,000, then just have everyone every now and again. Maybe sending me a little thank in the old chip jar and all that stuff. That'd be quite nice. Might even be able to afford to get myself an editor. That would be nice. Just to be able to do all the stuff and get somebody else to do all the hard work. Now, there's a couple of nice cars back that way. But I'll take a look at those in a bit. Just want to check this road out and see where we are actually going with this. Well, that is a gateway, or a fence line, so this does indicate to me that there is something here. Quite obviously, Dursaz. Ooh. There's a farming patch there. Yes, I think this is the place. Yeah. Because this is so out of the way, this makes a very good base. I think I found our base, Chris. Yep. It's got a garden here. It's out of the way. The window's open. And if we're lucky, so is the door. Look at that. Oh. The outside? Yeah, let's do a quick recce around the building. No, they must be upstairs. Oh crap. Oh, that made me jump. Oh. Right. It's certainly somewhere I would consider as a base if I was playing this one player. Single player. I guess moderators now can't. Well, they can create their own ones, can't they? Because they can do... How do we do it now? Add safe zone. Well, that should be our safe zone. Okay. Ah, I haven't got respawning on. I'll have to change that on the old server. But for the moment, let's check this car out. Bit of duct tape. Not bad. Right, so the next part is going to be moving. And also setting up defences. When I say defences, I mean the fences. Defences. Ba-dum-tsh. Oh. The only thing I didn't do is check for food. Poo. Gonna have to go back now. Skiddly doopy doop, skiddly doopy doop, skiddly doopy doop. Because I might need some food. There you go. Granola bar when you need it. The other thing I might do as well, put the old Jenny down here. So that's that done. So I think that's all that I need to do so far. And we've also got this nice lovely building here, which I think we turned into like a mechanics garage or something. But it is kind of pretty much pre-made for us, so I might as well use the use it while we can. Obviously, the only issue is that you're going to need a car because this is quite a journey. Also, we're not near too many trees either, which is another problem. Which means we're going to have to seriously look for ways to bring wood back. Perhaps I should have filled my bottle up as well. Do I have another bottle? Yes, I do. Okay. Okay. Sorted the weight issue out. We will have to deal with those zombies on the way back. Oh, or maybe not. Maybe we're going to have to deal with him now. And deal with them I shall. I mean, we are in kind of like a camp area, so makes sense. So there's going to be vehicles around and people. It's a locked car. There's an empty gas can in there. Be interesting. See if there's any fuel in here. There isn't. And that car isn't as good as it seems to appear to be. Yep, been playing games with escape again. There's 11% in that gas. That's good, because that could mean I could put that in the generator for a short time. Oh, I haven't checked this bad boy out, have I? I'm completely wasting my time trying. I'm going to have to deal with the zombies here. Just a little bit too close. Before I check these van articles. Should be okay there. Ooh. Well, here's interesting. Got an empty gas can there. All seems a little bit too tempting, doesn't it? Oh. Okay, so now that I've got that van there, what I'm going to do probably don't need all those nightsticks there, do I? Let's just put the one with the best condition in there. Spare hand axe. The duct tape. the 5mm rounds. Well, actually, what I might do, thinking about it, can I take these apart? It is carpentry, okay. Now, I wouldn't expect this to be a massively fast operation. To make 100% sure. There we go. Right, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to sneak my way around the back here. We could probably move these guys out of the way a bit later. There's a gas station up here, isn't there? Somewhere. Unless it's been burnt out, of course. And there she blows. So if we secured this area off, sledgehammered our way through there, and then found a way to secure our way out through there, or just maybe, yeah. That was some of the zombies where they need to be dealt with. Oh, this engine isn't as good as I thought it was. Or am I out of fuel? No, I'm not out of fuel. The engine's a bit crap. Whoop. Okay. This is going to be a problem. But I will take a quick bio break, if that's okay with you guys. And grab myself another drink. And I'll be back in 2 shakes. Ooh. Right, so I've had a thought of what I'm going to do. There's a gate up here, isn't there? So what we'll do is I'll open this up. She's going to be wanting to come round, isn't she? So I've got to be quite quick here. Hi, Duck. How you doing, buddy? I'll just turn this engine off. Doesn't quite work the way I'd wanted it to. So let me deal with all those zombies I've just conveniently called. We're doing all right. We're just using the gated area as a means to an end right now. Yeah, the trip was all right. It's as I was saying to Chris while he was watching it earlier. I wouldn't say I'm recharged all my batteries, but there's been a little bit of a charge. I'm feeling a lot better than I was. I'm gonna get these crackers. Just give me some quick respite. Not the ones that are put in the map. No, not the metal fences that's put in the map. I think they can take down player-built fences. It's a bit of a bummer, but there you go. Let's take that off. Is there gas in this? Awesome. Yeah, well, I managed to get the Project Zomboid done, and let's see if I can... We'll see if we can get other stuff done on a load of dates. No. What's happening right now is just up there. There's been a crash, but you can't get the car past. So what I'm trying to do... And emphasis on the word trying. I'm trying to get this van through this hole here and out the other end. But of course it is effectively ringing the dinner bell every time I turn this thing, because it's a crap car that I've found the other end to get back to where Chris and I started. Come on. Come on, you piece of crap. Get past the gate. There we go. And you can enjoy that in your face. I did see them. But they obviously didn't see me, so... It was thinking it was me, yeah. There's plenty of time in the day yet, my friend. No, there's the other one here also. It's going to be a bit awkward because it's there we go. Also doesn't help. The engine on this is pretty piss poor. Now, can I get this attached? Yes, the answer to that is yes, I can. Whether that helps me or not, there's another thing coming. Another matter entirely. There we go. Yeah, you'll be seeing it just in a next few moments. Yeah. Part of me thinks that you should really... Well, let's have some chili. Why not? Celebrate with some chili. Right, I might have to deal with this woman as well up here, because she's going to start smacking on this thing. And we do not want that. In fact, let's just make sure... Oh, yeah. That is my engine up there. These guys up here, they've been attracted by the engine. And there was a gunshot as well, so... Let's deal with these guys. I don't want them... banging on that gate. Yeah, this part of town is because it kind of moves into farmlands towards the east. Took me a while there. Anyway, Chris is probably on his way home by now, so he'll be giving us his Hidley hose in about 45 minutes after he's had his dinner. Oh yeah, let's just quickly check this one to see if this one's got any fuel in it. No. Okay, that's good. That's fine. Jesus, this one doesn't want to move, does it? No, last time we played, I think we were just checking up the area because we've come from the military base, and we just wanted to just check through the military barrier system that pervades it, and we've kind of got ourselves found ourselves a decent place to bolt up in Louisville now. So it's just a question now of getting our stuff and moving it over. I mean, don't get me wrong, we probably have, but the server's set so that if you kill a zombie, the bodies won't stay there because it's just to help with the memory of the server, effectively. Right, let's see if we, right. So let me just quickly show you on the map. So we are hither. Chris and I walked pretty much all the way up through to this point here. This is where I started, and I've just gone through there, and this area here now, let me just pop a home symbol on it, is home. So I'm heading all the way back over to here. To see if I can deal. Did I come through that? I think I think I've come through here actually, and this is just across the river and over there, because that is where the military compound is, if I remember correctly. But we've passed by Area 0, so to speak, where the outbreak started. I'm not sure if that's canon, but it's kind of like this is the cordoned off zone that the military put in to keep people away from the zombie infection. It just didn't work. Just let me go back to the map and show you. So this area here, this is all bordered off, and this is allegedly where the outbreak started, because all the buildings are burnt down. It's quite interesting. Hmm. Okay, here's where it gets a bit tricky. To be fair, the game is full of like little Easter eggs like this and little stories. I may have to re-gravel that road there. As you can see, some of the housing around here has been utilised, whereas others have been burnt to the ground by the military. Brilliant. How am I going to do this? I might have to charge it. That's so they say. So they say. Need a propane torch. Right, I'm going to probably have to sideswipe this car. And nudge it out the way. And this one's going to probably need to be dragged as well. But it's not scary at all having all these zombies just like waiting for you outside, is it? Really? No, not at all, sirs. Oh, hello. I think I may have. Apart from called every single zombie in the... It'd be nice to have a gun, wouldn't it, really? That would certainly solve a few problems. Not quite what I intended, but I might be able to get away with it. Yep. Well, that'll be why that road doesn't work. And there's the old hole in the fence, which probably will need fixing up at some point. Yeah. Once we're ready to, I think. So there's a lot of trees there, which can be used as wood, because there's not a lot of wood around where the new base is going to be. And we're going to need to build defences. Mm-hmm. And here's where we started. Whoops. Okay. I'm still short of food though, which doesn't help. Is there a mess around here? It certainly looks like a mess here, but I can't see a kitchen. Ah. Well, that's disappointing. I'm going to have to eat the margarine then. I wasn't going to eat the lard. Don't knock the margarine. Got us through World War II. Have I pretty much taken all the 9mm? Oh well, I've got the shotgun now, so what I can do is walk back and forwards up that area and shoot all the zombies through the ship to the fence. Yeah, it was an invention of the World War II because butter was in short supply. Mixing oil with hydrogen, I think it was the solution. Well, the thing about survival food is you don't get a choice. Well, what we got back here? Okay, well, we've got some stuff that we probably want to take. I think this is Chris's van, isn't it? We'll take that out. Honestly, Chris, you don't have to pick up some crap, don't you? Some logs, though. Well, let's have a look at the map. Because I don't really see too many lakes around here. There's one up there. And of course there's the main river around Louisville. Haven't really seen too much. Actually, didn't I cross a stream back here? Yeah, there's one there. And there's a stream here. But obviously everything's defined by or dictated by where I can go. Right. Oh, did I put I may have put the key in the glove compartment here. Or maybe not. Did I have the key for this one then? I do have the key for this one. So I must have driven that one, and Chris must have driven the other. Oh no, this one's just hot-wired. So why don't I have the key for it? Unless, of course, it's a Cerise wagon, isn't it? Now I have the key for it. Yeah, it's in my... So this isn't going to be the... Oh, there is a big shotgun load here, though. Give me a second. Where's that shotgun? That looks like a survivor then, doesn't it? Oh, it seems to be protected somehow. Well, I got legs, so if something does go horribly wrong, at least I can run like the coward that I am. Oops. I think I might be walking back. Actually, did we? I think we probably have checked these out, just in case. Seeing as Chris and I are like hoovers when it comes to this game. Oh, hello. I'll take the pop because that'll help. Ah! Hadn't looked that hard, had I? Well, seeing as I am clinically a nutter. Oh dear, yes. I may have damaged this car beyond repair. Well, not beyond repair, but to an embarrassing state of repair. But I mean, this is a safe zone-ish. Apart from that, obviously that hole in the fence. And just makes common sense to use it whilst you've got it. Be able to take Louisville from a quieter spot and slowly work your way through rather than coming straight through the military blockade straight into a horde. Yeah, I'll leave that for the moment. Yeah, it's getting a bit breezy, I must admit. Right, here we come past ground zero. But there is that there, which may be something that we can use at a later date. So maybe the fact that we'll need to clear out ground zero, at least one side of it, and get a generator there. Whoop! Forgot about them. They'll need dealing with at some point. Not today. Well, as brutally punishing as the game is, sometimes I'm quite good at it. Sometimes. Ah, balls. There you go. Well, nearly home. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a stop away, but nothing we can't handle, really. Right, so this is the reason why I picked this place. You can see that it's got its own garden, several different makeshift buildings that you could use for different stuff. But now, here comes the fun bit. And some gas cans there. Not with a car. The only issue being is right now that we're not really protected around the building just yet, but we can get there. All we need to do right now, we'll just put that gas can down there. Is start setting ourselves up ready. What am I doing? Let's take all the books. Yeah, it's not a brilliant car if I remember correctly, but it'll do. Got to find a bin as well. Oh yeah, let's have a quick check inside the stables. I think you can open this gate here. Or you can just walk through it. Nice. So we could probably take all this apart here. That's a lot of wood there that we can probably take apart. Help start building up some of the stuff and nonsense that we need. We could turn that into a carport or a garage of some sort. We've also got this area as a storage spot. Well, if you could have horses in the game, I'm sure we probably would get away with it or try it. The question is, do we have a TV in here? Yeehaw! Right. We do have a TV here. It also looks like we've got some chips in a load of bottles and stuff. And the truth of the matter is, we can take a lot of this stuff apart because we don't need it. Fridge is we'll probably have to turn this into our little area. We'll have to get ourselves a washer dryer as well, and that will also mean that we will have to pipe it in. So we will need to. Ooh, I forgot to eat the sardines. Okay, let's put the shotgun away. Right, let's put the fishing stuff in here. Until we can find somewhere wet. Oops. Yeah, I don't know if it's strange. It's just one of those things. I think the other thing I might want to do is, as I've noticed, is that we're there. I remember from playing a while back that it wasn't that large that direction. So I may take a gander down there at some point. Duct tape. Empty gas cans. Military gear. I'll put the empty gas cans down here for the short term. Oh no, we've got a washer dryer in here. That's nice. But is it going to get any water from there though? Because we need a drop tank, don't we? And we need to plumb it in. So we may need to move them. But at least we've got the items there. We don't have to go out. Yeah, just empty the car, man. What am I doing? Apart from making a complete hash of remembering what I'm doing. There we go, put some nails in there, put the duct tape in there, a car battery charger. Now, for the moment, I'm just going to put the litter down here. Did I actually get to see what's in this car? Duct tape. Is this car any good? That's the next question. No, it's a bit of a wreck. No gas in it. Try again. Right, so that's a crappy runabout sorted. And the next thing I'm just going to do, just for the short term, just see how far this map goes. I'll probably keep it in reserve. Oh, we do have some trees down here, actually. That's quite good. Not massive amounts, I hope. Well, I wouldn't say I hope, but I do hope there's a lot of massive amount. The only issue being is that if there's too many, there usually tends to be zombies in them. And sometimes it also generally indicates the end of a map as well. Tell you what, let's head up to this main road up here. Do whatever zombies we can, and then maybe walk the road. Because at least now you know where you stand with a road. And you can see the zombies a lot better as well. And this is where the risk comes in, because we are getting closer to Louisville itself. So by rights there should be an absolute shed load of zombies coming our direction. But quite strangely there isn't. And there's the road. I'm not sure how far this road goes for. I know when I last played around this area, it didn't go very far. Here we go. Here's a dual carriageway. Is it just... Oh no, it's not just the three. Is that all of them? Well, I didn't really expect the road not to be this busy. So, you know, kind of got it coming. Old Lady Fauntleroy over there. Should have known. Is it? I mean, they could have extended the map. In fact, I'm pretty sure they have. Yep. Well, it stopped off about here, to be honest, and we got all this. So there could be another town here for all I know. So I haven't really explored Louisville apart from when it first kind of came to the map. So I'd have got myself to blame for that one. Do you know what? I think it may have to be a cart. Just so I can just quickly zoot down the road. All I know is that it hasn't ended where I thought it would end anymore, so there's places even I don't know about. And we could probably do the perimeter, maybe. That would probably be a good idea. Just to, you know, just keep the zombies away. Let's have a look at the map again. Yeah, so what I want to probably do right now is maybe that area there, just so that I know that I've got that particular area free of zombies. While we wait for Chris to come on. If he's coming. Don't really want to do too much in the way of running.
What are you suggesting about my activity?
I don't know. That you don't have much. Yeah, well, there's plenty of.
I before I come a snack before I come on.
Well, yes, exactly. Chuffing yourself, man. Right.
There he is.
I found us a base.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I might just head back, actually. Oh.
How many times have you died?
0.
Well, that's not fun.
Not for you, no. Absolutely fantastic for me.
Hey, potentially it's fantastic for me because it means you're more likely to die now.
No. I think we've kind of established once you're on the server, I have the ultimate barrier to death.
Ah, the great meat shield mode. Where's that shotgun?
Oh, you don't want to fire a shotgun right just yet.
Oh, and before anybody gets thingy, I mean in the game, not anywhere near London.
Yeah, my next door neighbour's a armed police officer, and he's been sequestered down to London.
Yes, I would imagine there's quite a few of them down there at the minute.
Yeah. Don't know what all the fuss is about. Let him have his little celebration and carry on getting on with our lives, basically. As far as I see it, I have no issue. I'm not a ruralist, but I'm not against them either. So
it's one of those things. It's a bit like the various protests. It's like, yeah, fine, protest, have your protest. It's a bit different when you're actually plotting to kill somebody.
Oh yeah.
That tends not to go down well.
Well, to be fair, baked beans over a very expensive £1 million painting's probably not going to go down too well either. But no. I think in the terms of crime, vandalism is a lot better than regicide. So,
but that's also where I point out that that's not a protest to me. That's criminal damage.
Yeah.
The protest is where you stand and block a road. Because, yes, that was inconvenient and in some cases deadly. But it wasn't an outwardly, obviously malicious act.
Just stupidity.
Yeah. Which, the minute you start actually vandalising priceless works of art or interrupting a tournament match with die, so you're going to die in the match and cause them to have to cancel the match. It's like, do you really think that's going to get people wanting to back your cause?
Well, no, he does the exact opposite thing. You think, what an absolute knob-end. What's his cause again? Well, I ain't working that one, thank you, matey. It's like... I
might agree with your views, but because of your actions, I have to disallow all knowledge of you. If you're willing to do those kind of actions, you're not somebody I want to be involved with.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the problem is nowadays is everybody feels it's got to the point where people feel that they can do anything they want to because they have a just cause. It's not left to the Christians anymore to say, well, I can do what I want. I'm going to heaven anyway because I'm a Christian, sort of thing. It's now I have the moral right, therefore I can do what I want to people, and it's not true. Absolutely not true. What we said about we've got these people called Stop Oil. Now, what they've generally tend to do is just been very irritating in the fact that they'll just sit in a road, and when you move them, they'll just go down and sit them again, sort of thing. And the police are pretty much powerless to stop them because they'll just take them in and give them a warning, because that's pretty much all it is, sitting in a road. Because unfortunately, pedestrians actually have the right of way on British roads, so so they actually can stand there and stop the traffic, and the traffic has to stop for them. But they've been doing that, but they're starting to get a little bit more what's the word? Inventive with their ways of protests, which are starting to become from being inconvenient to damage, basically criminal damage. Like someone went into a snooker tournament. Now I understand snooker's not exactly the most enamoured sport in the world, but at the same point, people enjoy it. And someone walked in and dropped red dye or orange dye all over it, and couldn't cancel the tournament. And a lot of people have been like throwing custard and gluing themselves to pieces of art as a protest, which has, well, you can imagine that most people are just thinking, you absolute tit. So yeah. Oh well, French demonstrations are something completely and utterly different. The French will shut down France just for the fact that someone's got a stubbed toe. I mean, I think there was a woman who had a heart attack and they couldn't get an ambulance through, and they were like, "Well, how do you? Oh, hello. This looks like whoop, yeah, it is still stopped. At least now I know." And it was like, how can you justify killing an old, nearly killing an old lady, sort of thing? And she was like, well, just think about what my daughter does. So it's entirely selfish then, is it? You're just wanting to do it for your own daughter and not for, you're willing to kill somebody else for your own daughter. And those sorts of decisions aren't something that someone really should be putting themselves into. You shouldn't be making those decisions or needing to make those decisions.
Especially when there are other better ways of protesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could have blocked petrol stations, or you could block fuel depots, or government buildings. Government buildings would be far better.
Yeah, you can't actually. If I remember correctly, they actually put the fuel companies actually had to put a court injunction in, didn't they? That prevented people from protesting at fuel depots.
I think it's done individually, depot by depot. Oh,
right.
But yes. So whenever there's sort of like a group like this doing this kind of stuff, they put like a 12-month or a year probation. Like, you can't do that here. But I think the way that the law's written, that it kind of has to be very particular. So you kind of have to say this company or this people associated with this are not allowed to protest.
I remember when the fuel shortage happened, just at the start of the Ukraine war. Yeah. I know that a lot of forecourts actually had court injunctions, meaning that it was against the law to stop anyone from fueling from this station or protesting on this premises. So
yeah.
But I think that's probably because it's probably classed as a private premises. So now blocking public highway is a completely different story.
So if you block the access to the private place, that's kind of how they get away with it. But even then, it's dodgy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, because most people use vehicles, which is, I believe, don't quote me on that one. It is a, oh no, don't do that sort of thing. But have I got a mask?
I like what the truck drivers did when they one of the times when they protested. They didn't stop. They didn't blockade. They just drove the trucks round in the block constantly. So no other traffic could get onto the road.
Yeah.
You know, there are ways of protesting that though it affects people and offends people, is not as truly stupid as the person who was gluing themselves to the ground.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like that's going to hurt.
Yeah.
But I mean, the other thing is, it's like the nurses' strike. I mean, you kind of want to be on their side, sort of thing about it. You know, everybody believes, you know, especially after the pandemic, that you kind of need to support nurses and any sort of voluntary staff that go out of their way to help you. But at the end of the day, they weren't leaving any sort of cover for people. So it was literally people were dying because people were protesting. And that's where I start getting a little bit, that's not good. And so, you know, I generally think if somebody dies because of your protest, then you should be liable for it.
Yep.
Like, for instance, the Stop Oil people, if that woman had died in trying to get the ambulance to where they needed to get to, if she'd have died, I think the people responsible should have been held accountable. Even, as far as I'm concerned, it's manslaughter. They don't intend to kill someone, but they did. So.
Yep. Negligent homicide.
Is that's the American way of doing it though?
Yeah,
is what they call it. Yeah, negligent homicide, but we call it manslaughter.
Yeah.
Right. Power's on at the house. Oh, that reminds me. I need to invite you to the safe house, don't I? Add player. Chris P. Add player. There you go. I forgot to turn on the respawning safe house thing for the moment, so if you do die, you will end up having to start again from somewhere else for the moment, but I'll get that sorted.
Yeah. Where are you?
Okay. Well, if you go on your map, you should see me in a little dot. I am literally to the east of you. Where that little crossroads is, you just head east, and I'm there. But yeah, I mean, the thing is that whilst you feel like you're justified for what you do for whatever reason, you have to take into account the consequences of what your actions are. And despite the fact that, you know, you have this moral desire to save the planet, if you're not allowing other people to breathe in this world, then you're a bad person. It's simple as that. You got to take fucking account for your sins, man.
It's one of those things because what they're wanting, it's kind of like, yeah, we all want British homes to have more insulation and more efficient boilers and cheaper gas or cheaper alternative to gas.
Mm-hmm. But you can't. I mean, the fact is, have you seen what those air heaters are all about? I mean,
They're
like
useless. Those
ground air heaters.
yeah, the pumps. They work, but you have to build a house based on the fact you're going to have those, and you've got to come up with cheap electricity.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is, our electricity is tied to the gas price, so it doesn't help.
No, that doesn't. Yeah, it was for pay. Yeah, it was for a percentage of in inflation. Basically, is that they weren't getting a fair amount of money within the raising of. I think I've just seen Chris there. Within the raising of fuel, cost of living, basically.
Yeah, the nurses got absolutely diddled over the entire way through COVID, with minimum price rises, while MPs got relatively decent ones.
Fair stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Because these MPs were having to do all this extra work,
Extra partying, you mean?
Yeah.
Extra work.
That to organise these parties,
and
and do it secretly so nobody knew they were having them.
Despite the fact that they'd already brought into law the fact that you shouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Tories. They make you laugh.
I just love the idea they literally were having meetings, like talking to the public, where they were like, by the way, guys, don't do this, and then turning around after the meeting and then doing it.
Yeah. Fucking
and then had the balls to use the excuse of, well, we didn't know it wasn't allowed.
You fucking made the law, mate.
You literally wrote the rules.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who it is in charge. They'd have all done it.
Yes. The only bit that makes a difference over who was in charge was one of them was writing the rules. So if you're going to write the rules, you've got to follow the rules. And the other guy wasn't saying the rules were a bad idea, so he kind of doesn't get a free pass. Like, if he was protesting about the rules being too restrictive or whatever all the whole way through, there'd be a different argument to have there, where he was standing up for his rights type thing. But he wasn't. He was like, yeah, that's a good idea. So
comedy. If it wasn't so laughable, it'd be a fucking nightmare, wouldn't it? Really. So there you go. Well, that's old Boz Joz for you. Or Bojo the Clown.
I love the fact he came running back when he thought somebody else had messed up enough that he could get his job back.
Oh, yeah. What a fucking nightmare that would have been if he'd got back in.
I think there would have been protests in the streets.
But I don't think they'd have won the next election. I mean, apparently, according to all the things, is that because Keir Starmer's come out with some quite outright lies, apparently, that he's not exactly the most trusted person in the world at the moment. But they could still end up winning simply because
he's not a conservative,
or an SNP.
Yeah.
Because if Labour get the majority in Scotland, they could pretty much wipe up. If they wipe up in Scotland, then they're pretty much in for a pound, really.
You know the bit that really baffles me? We've got more than two parties.
Oh God, yes. Yeah, but have you seen the
Has
Liberals?
I was going to say, has anybody got an idea what any of the other parties are even doing or saying? Because
Well, there's the Green Party, which is pretty much, if you've seen them, that they link themselves with the SNP in Scotland, and you can see what old Yoga Lorna Slater's been doing to the Scottish coffers, because she's been.
But he's also been the Green Party's also, whether they're connected to, but morally along the same lines as Insulate Britain. So
yeah. Well, yeah, Insulate Britain's probably screwed their chances as well. But to be fair, the performance of the Greens in the as the stooges for the SNP have not really helped them either. Have you guys changed PM recently, or did someone last longer than 2 weeks?
Liz. Weeks.
Yeah, Liz Truss. Yeah, she didn't last as long as a lettuce that somebody put out. Yeah, because they wanted to see if a lettuce would last longer than Liz Truss, and it did. But she was an idiot. She was a fucking idiot. She was, without saying it. It was like it was along the words of, if you could do the one thing that you could possibly do to make everybody hate you, it's give the rich tax cuts whilst making everybody else pay for it and borrowing to do it. It's like, what?
The thing was, she was even worse than that, because what she did even upset the rich.
Oh God, yeah.
Because it completely messed up the borrowing system. And they were like, what are you doing? We need those mortgage rates to be low, not high.
It's like, honestly, it's just, it beggared belief. Let's just say that. It just beggared belief that what that came out there. He was like, she had to go. I mean, I'm not as bad as everybody else. I don't mind the Tories so far. They've not been. I mean, they've not been that bad. They got us through COVID. To be fair, I don't think we'd have survived as well if old Keir Starmer had been involved. But or Corbyn. Yeah. Oh God, no. Now we'd be fucking communists by now if Corbyn had been in charge. But no, it's I don't have that whole thing, but even I could see, like, if Liz Truss stays as PM, they've lost their election, absolutely lost it. She had to go.
Yeah,
you can't be that stupid and survive.
I have a horrible feeling we wouldn't have even made it to the next election.
Yeah.
Like, I think the level of economic collapse we'd have suffered if she'd have just been allowed to keep doing what she was doing would have not ended well.
And the worst thing that irritated me was, like, they were standing there as though it's like the best idea they've ever had. It was just like, what?
What got me about that was that the guy whose plan it was,
something, was it?
Yeah, then put his hat in the ring to replace her. And you're like, it's your plan that got her sacked, mate. No, we're not going to hire you.
Yeah. It takes balls, doesn't it? It takes balls only an MP can do. Yeah. Oh, what a load of fucking nonsense, man.
I get the feeling it was like literally like, I can't make the situation any worse, so I may as well run.
Well, the problem is that she got him to do this plan that she wanted, and then fired him for it. It's just like, you're kind of responsible for that as well, Liz. Just firing him's not going to help, is it really?
Yeah, she hired him to do a plan. He did a plan. It was rubbish. The first thing she should have done is gone, no, that's rubbish. We're not doing it. That's kind of her job.
Well, you see, the thing is if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty sure I do, is that when her and Rishi Sunak, the first time when they had their, the hustings where they were trying to work out who was going to be the next prime minister out of a lot of them, and she somehow won. She was she actually laid out her plan herself about how this thing is, and Rishi Sunak said, "No, you're going to kill the country by doing that." He literally explained to her in fairly good English as to why you shouldn't be doing that sort of thing. But no, she ends up getting voted in, and of course, it all goes to shit after that. And of course, Rishi Sunak once again has to come in and save the fucking day. So, yeah, I mean, the fact is that she tried to convince the person who was chancellor. Is that the guy who does all the money for the country?
Yeah. Chancellor of the
Exchequer. That her idea of economy was a lot better than his. It's just like, no.
We want to do this trickle down economy because it really works, except for everywhere it's been tried.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose when it comes to brazen balls, though, it really does absolutely pale in comparison to the motorhome gate. Oh, here's one for you, Duck. In Scotland, because we did something called devolution, which allows basically each part of the United Kingdom to have their own parliament and make their own rules, as long as it doesn't affect the UK as a whole, sort of thing. Which basically means that Westminster can veto stupid ideas. Really, they should have, vetoed Liz Truss, but there you go. But yeah, they've been finding out that Nicola Sturgeon's husband has been arrested for the misappropriation of £600,000, and of course he was let go without charge, which is fine, but a lot of people were asking the question of, like, where's some of this money go? And then suddenly, all of a sudden, they're going over to this guy's mother's house and confiscating a motorhome. Now, everyone keeps saying that the one thing that killed Nicola Sturgeon was this transgender bill that she was trying to force through. But I kind of really think that she knew that the jig was up, and she had to get herself as far away from the SNP because she'd taken him down with her, effectively. But yeah, she was. It seems like they're very dodgy people, the two of them. Because I mean, apparently she spent some of her time telling them, like, yeah, don't talk about the finances. The finances are fine. I'm not pointing anybody out, but you talk about the finances and you're in deep shit, sort of thing. Not saying you're in deep shit, but you're in deep shit. So, yeah. Fun stuff.
Look into my eyes. Don't look at this. Look at my eyes. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yes, just look over here for a bit and just pretend that we've got everything in order here. Yeah. But the worst thing about it is because of this whole, Nicola Sturgeon thing. I mean, obviously, as you know, my family's Scottish, so I hear a lot of it from my mother-in-law. Yeah, it's embezzling is a nice word to say, but downright fucking stealing it is another thing. I mean, this guy apparently
wasn't it a bequeathment as well? It was somebody who'd passed away and given money to the party, so it wasn't even just like general funds.
That's something that's come out recently. Yeah, is that it's money that's been given to in wills to the SNP. Now I understand that there are people in Scotland that do believe that they should be well away from the governance of the United Kingdom. I mean, if you want to look at the history, it is their own fault. But basically, they ended up becoming a part of England because they made some rather dodgy investments in places that failed, and therefore their economy was going to collapse. And the only way that they could do it was by joining the United Kingdom and actually being under the British rule system, so that we ended up paying for them. Because Scotland gets, I think it's like, is it like a There's only 30 million people, but they get something along the lines of the taxes of about 23 million people. So effectively, English taxes pay for Scotland. And somehow the SNP was saying, well, we can survive, we can go past, we can do all that one, and yet you can't even get your books sorted, and you can't even get an auditor anymore. So yeah, just ridiculous stuff, man. Ridiculous stuff. Anywho, I'm just going to quickly go for a bio break and grab myself another drink. So I'll be back in a sec while I think about what I'm going to do next. Die.
Yeah. And I'm guessing it was they took the money from a bequeathment because it makes it easier to not notice it's gone. When it comes to his numbers, I haven't got a clue. I never looked that closely into it, but that's because I'm not Scottish. But obviously, if he's saying there's 30 million people and he's getting taxed from 20 odd million, that would make sense because children don't pay tax. So I think that's where he's kind of getting at, like they get more percentage of tax than people paying tax. Start the radio playing up. Get the song on the radio. Dumb ways to die. Then just leave him like barricaded in there.
$13 million people in Scotland.
Right.
Not 30. 13. I mean, the other thing as well, I mean, apparently Kentucky have now passed through a law that stops activists from forcing children to get transgender education. And she's come a lot along the lines of that Bud Light protest as well. Because that's another Nicola Sturgeon thing, is that, I mean, that was the hilarity of it all, wasn't it? That I'm going back to the base to pick up some more stuff. Do you want to come with me, or are you...
No, I've got things
shit to do.
Sorting through at the minute.
Shit to do, okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, the whole Nicola Sturgeon thing was ridiculous. Is that, like, they were like saying, well, you can't have people allowing themselves to self-identify without any sort of, like, balance or checks sort of thing.
Yeah.
And
which is a big problem in America as well at the minute.
Yeah. Which is why I was talking about that Kentucky thing. They've just put a law through in saying that you can't do it without balances or checks. So that's the thing. Now, first of all, let me make this quite clear. I have friends who are gay. I have friends who have transitioned, and that's absolutely nothing. That, you know, your average person who is of transsexual behaviour or gender dysmorphia or whatever you want to call it, they're not a problem. It's the people who seem to turn it into some sort of activist crusade that try to tell people that because they want people to stop and think about things before they start rushing into it, that they you know, that they're, you know, an ist or a phobe or something like that. It's once again, it's back to the things like this Insulate Britain. The people who seem to put other people off the actual point by doing actions that put people off, sort of thing. But I mean, with the whole Nicola Sturgeon gender recognition stuff was hilarity, really, because it was generally along the lines of that someone said, well, you know, they were saying, well, hold on a second, let's not go too far into this whole gender thing, because what you know, have we actually thought about it? You know, what happens if you know, say, here's an example off the top of our heads. A male rapist goes into a female prison. sort of thing, because he said that they're female. And I said, that won't happen, don't talk rubbish, you're just being a racist and histophobe and stuff like that. 2 weeks later, they tried to put a male rapist in a prison who just decided that he'd change his gender. You can't make it up, can you?
I believe that you should be allowed to live however you want, but the facilities you use should be based on your actual genetics. Not genetics, sorry. Your actual plumbing.
Yeah.
You can use any pronoun you wish to use.
Yeah.
You can live however you wish to live.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to using public facilities, then there has to be those kinds of checks in place. Now, I agree that there shouldn't be bars put in place of people wanting to go through that procedure that don't need to be there. So if you want to change your sex, then the help and counselling should be there for you to
well,
then go and do that.
Here's the thing that gets me, and here's been my whole argument about the whole thing, is if, say, in Britain you have to be 16 legally to have sex, why is it that they're trying to force people under 16 to change their sex?
Yeah.
Because that is an adult decision, as is having sex, effectively. Or, and I mean, drinking a beer in here is 18, is 21 in America. That's, that is what's classed as an adult decision, which is one where you have all the information to decide whether you want to get yourself shit-faced or not, or if you want to have sex, or if you want to, you want to use safe sex and stuff like that. These are adult decisions that you need to take into account. Why is it that all of a sudden people are getting upset that people are saying, well, isn't transitioning and a very important and adult decision that you need to spend your time doing? I mean, I think they've tried to lower the age, didn't they, in Scotland as well, didn't they, to something stupid. And in America, it's just ridiculous. We're talking kids of 4 being, told they should be transitioning. So that's not right. You shouldn't be spending your time, because it's something that you believe in, trying to force a kid to do something that because it ticks a box in your I've done something right category.
Yeah. Now, like I said, there are probably a handful of cases across the entire country where a minor for whatever rightful reason wishes to have those kinds of surgeries.
Mm-hmm.
But if they want to live by the name Tommy instead of Tammy,
mm-hmm.
I haven't got a problem with that. But they still should be using, if they're in school, the same toilets.
Well, you see, the thing is also, what about, tomboys and, that sort of thing? I mean,
we had those, when we were kids, effeminate blokes and.
Well, there was one time where I can't explain why. I don't know why. Is that for a good 6-month period, I wanted to be Princess Leia.
Yeah.
It did mean. Isn't it? Well, I don't know what it was, mate. But the thing is that when I was a young age, I wanted to be Princess Leia, and when all the kids played Star Wars, I always played Princess Leia because I don't know why. I have no idea in my mind why I wanted to do it, but I did.
Yeah.
And you can imagine back in the 80s, that was just you could seriously get yourself beaten up for that sort of shit. But even then, it was kind of felt you know, people just tolerated it because who else was going to play Princess Leia when you're playing Star Wars?
Exactly.
You have to have someone playing Princess Leia, and all the girls smell.
The problem is, everybody's lumping everything together, right? And for you to have this right, you've got to have all of these rights as well. No. Yeah. This and this are two separate things. It's like playing on the male football team is the same as wanting to be addressed as a male. No, they're two separate things. Now, I'm not saying that a lot of sports shouldn't be gender neutralized.
Well,
but that's the way I think a lot of it should be. It's just gender neutralized.
I wouldn't really gender neutralize something because the simple fact is that you saw the one where the world class women's soccer team in Australia got beaten like 6-1 against like a team of 15-year-old boys.
Yeah, but the thing is, if that's what they're wanting,
I suppose, yeah. I can't argue with that.
Then I kind of like, if you want to go that way, that's fine. Yeah, we will gender neutralize, and if you want a female on the team, or if you want a whole female team, not a problem.
I mean,
but there's not going to be any special advantage given to you because of that.
Saz in a metal bikini. Oh no, this is well before metal bikini time, man.
They'll get him a couple of pints more into him, and you might manage to get him that way.
I mean, the thing that irritates me about kind of like the whole, I mean, feminists seem to have kind of dropped off the thing at the moment because, you know, there's the different types of feminists now that there's the feminists that actually dealt with female problems, and then now there's all like you know, you got feminists that are now classed as TERFs. It's like, yeah, okay, fine. Well, no, they're trans exclusionary radical feminists. It's like, well, first of all, I wouldn't call J.K. Rowling a radical feminist. I'd call her a feminist, but not a radical feminist. She's not radical at all, really. If she was radical, it would have been Harriet Potter, and it would be a whole, you know, massive hole.
It's a matter of realizing that actually what we're talking about here is what was considered normal for a long time. So the radicals are actually the ones wanting trans rights. And like I say, I'm not necessarily saying that them wanting trans rights is a bad thing. What I'm saying is, calling the other guys the radicals is just the same way of creating hatred for that group.
Yeah. It absolutely is. There's no way back or forth from it. It's generally along the lines of is that because you want what you want, you're just trying to demonize the dissenting party, so to speak. Yep. And it's just a question of, well, is it okay to do that? I don't think so. Is it right? No, it's not. Does it happen? Of course it does. But the thing is with a lot of, you know, a lot of feminists use this tactic themselves, and now it's being used against them, sort of thing. So it's just very interesting, I think, is where it goes. But I mean, the other thing is like, I think the problem is that radical feminism is a wholly American problem. I think there's a lot of women out there who are feminists in Britain who do believe in, you know, true equality, not just equality for women, just true equality as in like men get the rights to see their kids and all that. But I mean, it's just like along the same lines of is that the English women's football team, they'll go on and win the World Cup and think, you know, that's. Oh, sorry, is it the World Cup or is it Europe, the European Cup? And they'll just be happy that they've done it, sort of thing. Whereas, you know, the American women say that they want to be paid more money, and they find, quite strangely, that they're actually paid more than the men are. So, what? You can't, honestly, it's like, and of course they've basically they lost their lawsuit against the thing, being told that they're being paid more, and so I think they said, well, we're happy to put you on the same as the men. They went, oh no, thank you, but we're still going to object to the fact of this lawsuit, and we're going to still try to get more money out of you. So it's like, so it's not really the point of equality. It's just the fact that you want more money. But I heard a lot of it had to do with what's the lady, the one with the pink hair? Of course, it's the one with the pink hair. Rapinoe, is it her name? Apparently, she bullied all the other women to follow her lead, sort of thing. So she was basically the class bully.
Yeah. No doubt, promised them great wealth and improvement of circumstance.
But I think the other thing is that. Apparently the women's basketball team is almost 100% funded by the men's basketball team because they bring literally zero cash. Nobody wants to watch it, so why should they get paid a lot more money than the men? You know, the thing is what do you bring to the table? And you see, I enjoy women's football. I didn't get to see the women's rugby, but the women's football, I actually quite enjoyed watching. I remember the days. This is a good. I remember the days back in the 80s and 90s when women's football. It was just basically it was horrible. It was horrible to watch. But now, you know, they've got good. They've got good at it, so they actually look like they know what they're doing with the ball. But it was horrible watching women act like 2-year-olds with a football. Right, I'm just thinking.
Oh, careful.
How much have we got in the back of this van? No, we're nearly full, so I'll bring the van over. I'll empty it out at base, and then I can go back and see what else that we've got. I know we took a lot of the books and stuff, so we're okay. Oh, didn't do that. You didn't see that duck, by the way. Just want to make sure that that's clear. Beep. Ooh. Wait a second. I might have to head back. I just realised I may have put my welding mask in the back of that white van. Don't know what you're talking about, Duck. I've no idea what you're talking about. You're making it up. Don't listen to him, Chris. He knows not what he talks about. I think he's having some psychotic episode, to be honest.
And it's not as if there was any video evidence or anything, by the way.
Absolutely no. No. I'm going to go sturgeon on this one.
Or the fact that there's a delay, in which case you saying you didn't say anything meant I was able to look at the screen exactly when the incident was happening.
Absolutely. I think we all. I think no. Look. I'm just going Russian military with this. It was somebody who dropped a cigarette. Okay.
Into a submersible to the bottom of the ocean, onto that pipeline.
Yeah, or that big ship that. That didn't get hit by a missile. There's the welder mask. I knew I'd done that.
You just can't take him anywhere without him making a mess.
You should see me making omelettes. You can imagine the amount of eggshells I break.
Because you're juggling at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, you wouldn't want to see me cooking.
Yeah.
I could burn water, me.
Sets the knife up, standing upright on the desk over the other side, and just throws the eggs at the knife.
That's how, yeah. You need to buy a samurai sword for that sort of thing. It's like Fruit Ninja. Egg Ninja.
Yeah, good old Fruit Ninja.
Well, to be fair, there is an actual natural 20-second delay. So next time I have an accident, I have to wait at least 20 seconds before I say don't say anything. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair play. The other thing is, do you reckon that Hollywood is going to learn from the whole Super Mario Brothers thing, or do you
Probably
think they're going to still make the same old mistakes again and again and again?
Yep.
I heard in Peter and Wendy, the new disastrous take on Peter Pan, is that Wendy smacks the shit out of Peter Pan.
A couple of times, yeah.
Yeah. So, domestic violence is okay by Disney's point of view.
As long as it's a girl that's doing it.
Yeah.
I actually quite liked the movie. There was a few things I didn't like. Let's push inclusiveness so heavily to it.
You mean Lost Boys having girls in it?
Well,
don't think about it.
Yeah, not even just that. Just the fact that they'd literally let's go for a full set of the rainbow.
Yeah.
Let's tick as many cultural spots as possible. The only character they didn't mess with. Well, I suppose Wendy's two brothers were pretty generic, standard. Yeah. But they messed with literally every character except for the
Tiger Lily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only one they had to be racially careful with was the only one they didn't mess with. And you're like, oh, come on, guys. You're going to mess with everything else and leave that one, alone. They even messed with Tinkerbell.
Oh, yeah. I mean, apparently the liberal left are starting to get a bit tired of all this as well, because they're like saying with the with the race swapped aerial thing. Apparently, they're kind of saying, well, they're now their new thing to get upset about is the fact of why are you just putting in gender swaps now? Why can't you have like new stories that involve African Americans? It's just like, well, that's what the writer's been saying from day fucking one. You idiot turd burglars. Oh, honestly.
You could have quite easily fitted into the story without a problem.
Oh, hello.
You could have quite easily fitted into the story without much problem. Other fairies. You didn't need to change the character of the primary fairy.
Mm-hmm. You mean, but not only the primary fairy, but the fairy that pretty much is the icon for Walt Disney.
For Disney, yeah. It's like, come on, guys. I am more than happy for you to make many, many movies with new characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I will watch lots and lots of stuff with new characters on a regular basis. But do we have to keep messing with old stuff?
Mm.
Yes, there's a new Peter Pan. It's on Disney. Like I said, the actual movie itself isn't too bad.
Peter Pan's Indian.
Yeah.
They have the Lost Boys, which is basically the multicultural swap shop of, including the fact that Lost Boys, there's girls in the Lost Boys. But don't think about it. That's the whole thing. That when you find out that there's girls in it, you're literally told by the lead actress, don't think about it.
Kind of like, why wouldn't there be? And you're like,
there's domestic violence and assault in it, which basically means that Disney are approving the fact of the thing that I mostly object to is the fact that nowadays, where it comes to domestic violence, men are getting more victimised than women now. Yeah. But men won't report it. So having a smack him around the face is just like ridiculous, and to get away with it as well without the consequences of it as well.
Yeah.
And the fact the guy was an Indian kid as well, so it was a white girl smacking an Indian kid. Yeah. You can read into that one how much you want to as well, but really, that's probably going to be some sort of like radical description on how white people treat the Middle East or whatever. I don't know.
The lower classes.
Yeah. And the worst thing about it is that this Wendy's quite a tall, powerful-looking girl, and the Peter Pan
that was what I was about to say.
Is tiny. He's like this little kind of like 6-year-old boy. She's smacking him around the face. It's like, oh, really?
I think she's like a good head taller than him.
So Wendy, you're a bully then, are you? Yeah, okay, fair play. You like beating up little Indian boys. You know, even when I say it, it sounds ridiculous. Oh dear.
I think they do the pirates quite well.
I'm sure.
Oh, I've just realised that they even had a Down syndrome child.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, I don't mind that so much, to be honest, mate. That's not a problem for me. It's more just the point of that, you know. I mean, the one thing that has really got my goat is this woman smacking the kid. I'm thinking that's
it's a tick box, and it's like, come on, guys, stop.
Well, they're not going to. All right. Now I'm trying to work out where all this is going to go.
We'll have to build some boxes.
I have. I've already started with some. Did you not see them?
Yeah,
Have you made some yourself?
not yet. I haven't got the carpentry skills to do stuff like that at the minute.
All right. Quite a few rifles here. I'll put those in the boxes, I think. And the worst thing about it is that someone's going to pick on something that we've said. And most likely, and this is the thing that also annoys me, is that they'll probably end up going through someone's Twitter or their Facebook or stuff like that just to find something to destroy them with, to ruin their lives with. It's like, have you not got anything better to do? And I know the answer to it, so don't, yeah. They certainly haven't. There's the sink there. Fill empty bottle. We need to start bringing food in if you can find any, mate.
Yep.
Yeah, it was live action. Yeah.
Yep. Like I said, not a bad movie. But it's like a lot of movies at the moment. They over culturally try to broaden them when they reboot stuff, and it's like, no, like, if you want to do a story like that, do a story like that. Just don't go, oh, we're just rebooting this story and going to give it a completely new characteral tone.
Yeah, it's lazy, for one thing. It's absolute laziness on Disney's part, and they think they're pandering to a certain small audience, the same sort of small audience that think that, you know, trans people should start at 4, but whatever. But oh god, yeah, have you heard about all the different shill magazines that are all closing down?
No.
What's it? Kotaku's in big trouble. They've had to fire quite a lot of people. What's the other one? I can't remember the name of it. I want to say Edge, but that was a gaming magazine. Vice. No, Vice is shut down. It's basically all these venture capital places. Everyone's favourite, BuzzFeed. That's gone.
Wow.
I think it's just basically the point of is nobody wants to deal with their shit anymore. And when nobody wants to deal with their shit anymore, advertisers are not getting any revenue and they're not getting any money in, and all the venture capital money's dried up as well. So, I mean, they're living on borrowed time anyway. I mean, as soon as you start with venture capitalism, it's just borrowed time. Simple as that. There's no getting around it. Well, yeah, but potentially somebody can end up watching this as a recording, unless I actually... Sometimes when I don't like the content that's come out, or if I've fallen asleep, I don't... I just put the video onto private. I don't think it's very, very entertaining. Unless there are certain people that know me, it's not very entertaining if I'm snoring on camera. Some people find it amusingly entertaining, but
Some people spend ages trying to get through to you, so you wake up.
yeah. And then the consequences of my 8 month grabbing my phone and accidentally calling you back.
Yeah.
That came out of nowhere. It's like, are you asking for me? No. Why'd you ask? Well, no, it's venture capital. Yeah, it is. But venture capitalism is people who have a lot of money. They're investing in something and are looking to get a quick and easy buck by selling it off as quickly as possible.
I wonder if it's that bank collapse has caused it.
Probably.
Was it Silicon Bank or whatever it's called? The Silicon Valley startup company bank went under?
Yeah.
And there was lots of people owed lots of money.
Yeah. I would not be surprised if that was the start of it. Yeah. Really? I was wondering why I walked into that other room. Yeah, it's. But the other thing is that they couldn't survive on all the shit that they came out with. You know, they're the biggest propagators of this of the whole part of this. You're an hysterophobe if you don't like this film, because they're going to say whatever they want. So I mean, I've been in the Disney curve, and they do treat you well, but they expect to be treated well back, if you know what I mean. As in, like, you're not really allowed to criticise them whatsoever. Yeah. It's the same, I suppose it's the same with anybody who's sponsoring you. But if you want to see a film early, or you want to be a part of that red, you know, the red carpet brigade, then you play their game. You don't go any other direction other than the direction that they want you to go in. So, you know, you have to kiss the hand that feeds you. And I understand that. But I'd like us to get to a point where people just don't have to kiss butt to go see a film, and to have their honest, valued criticism as an honest, valued criticism, if you see my point. Rather than... I don't think it should be allowed that people who are professionally in a situation where they can criticise something are stopped from doing it. But then again, it is funny when Nintendo do it to Kotaku. Because Kotaku is now on the Nintendo blacklist, apparently. So they will not get anything from Nintendo. It's because Kotaku can't stop being Kotaku and decided to do an istophobe bit on Nintendo. But I'll be honest, I can't see a way out of the situation, because, you know, these it's a commercial company. They want people to tell people that it's brilliant until it's not, if you see what I mean. Yeah, the whole Hollywood thing of it's the best thing since sliced bread until it's not. until it's you can criticise it after the film's done its run in the cinema. But up until that point, you play fucking ball. Or else. Did I pick up another screwdriver? Ah, yes, I did. Actually got 2 screwdrivers. Okay. Well, the ammo straps can go back there. Nothing more exciting on a live stream than watching someone organise inventory.
You know you love it.
I don't mind it. I just worry about the fact that I'm doing it in front of loads of people and it's boring the shit out of them. Oh, canned pineapple. I might eat that. Give me a little bit more extra energy. There we go. I guess so, yes, it could be snoring. Yeah. Are you trying to say that my sleep apnea isn't as entertaining? Yeah. I often thought that sooner or later it will come down. Once we're old and infirm, is that we'll be sitting in an old people's home with a can of Guinness, doing a podcast. Oh no, ooh, not that one. Right in the world's rights.
Two grumpy old men.
Well, one grumpy old man, and the other one with incontinence. Chris, I've shit myself again.
Told you end the stream before that happens.
Well, I can't. I just keep thinking of my fan base, or the lack of it.
Your fan base really doesn't want to see you shitting yourself.
Well, my fan base is shit, basically. So that's literally. Oh dear. That's what's getting hot. It's August. Let's mute it. No. To be fair, I have had to go for a shit one time whilst I was streaming. That was on Twitch, though. And as you can see, my plan to make it big on YouTube first, and then move over to Twitch when I've got a better fan base, sort of thing, and I can concentrate on it. That's worked out well, hasn't it? I mean, I did enjoy doing Twitch, but you're just like a fart in a pond, aren't you? Compared to all the I mean, the one thing that I find better with YouTube is that you have just as much chance of being seen, whereas in Twitch, only the people at the top get seen first. So you have to be successful to actually get people to be successful, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Which I don't, you know, there's at least with YouTube and the ill-fated algorithm, at least it gives you chances every now and again and puts you at the top of the list just once or twice just to see if you can gain more people. If you don't, then you're probably back at the bottom of the list, and it's another 6 months before you get algorithmed again. I think I've been algorithmed about 3 times in 3 years, so it's probably once a year so far. When I say by algorithms, what I mean is that sometimes they'll put your leader or your come watch my thing to people who really have absolutely zero interest in you whatsoever, just as a thing of, let's see if you can catch more fish for you, sort of thing. Which I've never seen Twitch do. The only thing that advantages Twitch, and I think why a lot of people do tend to lean towards Twitch, is that after you get a certain amount of viewers, you get onto their little partnership sort of scheme, and you can make $100 every 3 months if you're lucky, from getting people donating you money and stuff. Which is nice. I'm not gonna say anything other than, you know, it helped pay for things, but that's mostly what I do when I get any money from this. It just pays for things. Epidemic Sound, for example, I think they're £90 a year to be able to lease out their songs, which, if you think about it, ain't that bad. But I still have to pay it. It's like, yeah, I want to pay it, but I'm going to have to pay it. But the fact is that just the way that Twitch and YouTube go now, you put in a song that somebody doesn't like, and that's it. You're getting nothing out of it. And sometimes you'll even get copyright strikes, and, you know, people doing you over, man. Well, as I said before anybody actually came on, I really don't mind being a small time person. I like to get my 1,000 so that I can just, you know, get a tip jar and stuff like that from YouTube, and then I'll be happy. So if people actually think that my work is good enough, then they'll pay as they go, so to speak. No expectation, just here you go. Yeah. I mean, things aren't so bad now. Now that the government have recognised the fact that I am actually disabled, things have got a little bit easier. Did I tell you about that, Chris? About the universal, the universal credit thing that took them 2 years to actually decide whether I was actually fit for work or not.
It's ridiculous. It should. Even the appeal procedure should not take that long.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I can kind of understand the fact it was during COVID time when we applied, and I think people have bigger fish to fry, and I'm okay with that. I thought it was a bit weird that they were saying like, well, we're only looking at new applications, not change of applications, because that was the thing. It wasn't a new application; it was a change of status, and it took them 2 years to sort out. And yeah, it just got silly. But effectively, they ended up realising that they'd made a horrible mistake, and I got 2 years back pay of basically a disability benefit. So currently we've got workmen on sorting the house out, because that's literally what it's gone on to. It's literally keeping the house in a fit state.
Up to spec.
Yeah, because the fascia boards and the soffits, is it called? Yeah.
Yep.
And all that bits, and we've had the pipe drainage removed, and it costs so much money to do. But my dad always said to me, when just even when we were actually buying the house together in the first place, was always sort out the brick and the mortar first. Everything else will come in their own time. So, which generally, if you mean is like that, the house is always going to be a good investment. Everything else that you put in the house is just window dressing, effectively. So yeah, you look after your house will look after you. So yeah, so I got 2 years worth of benefit back, and my wife and I have decided to do it to do home improvements and stuff. So life's a little bit easier than it was a few months ago. But we've got the next thing to do is trying to get Eleanor into school. That's the next fun bit. Because the school that's got the most outstanding thing, I think there's something like 30 places or something like that. And so even though we're in their catchment area, there's no guarantee that we'll get her in. Oh, do you have to use... Oh, they've changed it now. Oh, let me wear the mask. Let's see if that's it. So my propane torch needs to be full before I can take a car apart.
Right.
Fortunately, I've got some propane tanks in the back of one of the cars. Wouldn't say posh. There's even though a lot of people are kind of saying that Ofsted is a little outdated nowadays, or not the machine they thought it was. If you get like ratings for your schools, you will find that some of them, it's not a question of posh, it's a question of good. I think is the way of looking at it. Is if you want to get your kid, everybody wants to get their kid into a good school. That's just natural parenting.
And it's not necessarily about funding, as in a posh area school. It is a little bit, but it's a lot more nuanced than that in the UK, because a lot of schools, the bulk of their money comes out the same pot at the same rate.
Now, the reason the school that we want to get Eleanor into is probably outstanding is it's because it's a very small school. Therefore, they have more time to spend with the kids, and therefore, one of the major factors is the more kids you have in the classroom, the harder it is to make sure that every one of them gets the same amount of education that the others do. Because some kids obviously are bright as a button, and other kids may need some extra help, which is fair enough. That's the way it works. But in a smaller classroom, it just means that all the kids get the same amount of fair treatment. So even the slower kids should be able to get it eventually, sort of thing. But there's also the other things of inner city sort of schools as well, which has the reputation of it's where all the kids from the council estates go to. You don't want your kid going to one of them, because you know for a fact that they're either going to get drawn into something, or they might get bullied, or they might kids with flick knives sort of shit. So
it's a tougher environment.
So while your kids trying to survive in school, they're not really educating themselves, because the only education they're getting is how not to get the kid with the flick knife to stab him. And there also tends to be more disruptive students, which means that the class doesn't get the full attention of the teacher, because it's the disruptive student that generally tends to get all the attention, and blah 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 blah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't want to send my kid to a Mozambique school, but is it snobbishness though? I'm just trying to work out, am I being a snob?
A little bit.
But it's like that comedian when he went to Oxford, that Oxford debate thing. He kind of said, I dare any single one of you, when you're you kids can have your wokeness and save the planet and stuff, but general thing is, if there was a button out there that you could press to make sure that your kid survives day in, day out, and every time you press the button the world would get a little bit more polluted, it wouldn't even take you 5 seconds to press that button. You don't care about the world, you care about your kids. So yeah. As you want to give your kid the best chance they have of having a decent life. I mean, my dad did the same for me. My dad worked his way out of an inner city school, and gave me a decent education. So, I mean, I was making decent money before my year breakdown. Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember what he said. He was talking about back to these kind of like insulate Britain people. he was saying that it's all very well you having these these high and mighty fluting ways of saving the thing, but the fact is Britain in itself only accounts to 0.2% of the world's global emissions, which means that if in Britain we end up changing it, we're not going to make any difference whatsoever. It's in the third world, and they don't give a shit. They need to survive. And that's why he says...
A lot of them are burning our waste.
Yeah. They want to be farmers and all that shit. You know, if they don't care about a little bit of burning a forest, because they can. It's their country. And if it means that they're going to get themselves a farm, they'll bloody do it, because they will look after their kids. And you know what? I never got it till I had kids. That's the thing. Once you have kids, you kind of understand this. It's like this internal engine inside you suddenly switches on, and you're just like, oh my god, I never thought about that before. But I don't think America's that as though they as big a country as America is, it really isn't that massive. It's the third world countries that are causing it. I suppose China's going to be the biggest one, because they've just gone through their own industrial revolution at the moment. But really, it's just generally is that most people are doing it to survive. You know, it was just the way that he said it, though. It was just like, if pressing a button would give my kid the best ever life, and all that would happen is that part of the world would get a little bit more polluted, I would press that button until my fingers bled. So and it's true. I'd do the same. I can't deny it. Yes, we do. We do. But it's all about the percentage of world pollution. And that's the thing. Because at least in America, I know in Britain, I mean, we're doing this. What is that the thing they're doing now? Is it lost carbon recycling or something like that? That they've...
Yeah.
I have no idea what that's all about.
Well, there's several different ones. There's basically scrubbers that will remove carbon from the gases coming out of industrial-sized furnaces.
Well, they've had that for a long time, yeah, because you get
and
those
then they pump it underground.
Oh, then make diamonds then?
No, they pump it underground. They literally trap it back in the earth. So you know where they got like natural gas out of?
Yeah.
They basically pump it back in there.
All right. So in a few 100 million years, it'll end up becoming the next natural resource. Then once we're long and gone off the planet, that's fair play.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's been a few times it's been a problem because it's leaked and basically carbonated the water.
That would mean it was a gas rather than a solid.
Yeah, it's a gas.
That's carbon dioxide is gas. Carbon's
They call it carbon capture, but it's the gas.
Right.
They physically pump it as a gas under very high pressure, back where they took the gas from.
Okay.
Don't know why they call it carbon capture. I think it's because they want you to think it's like just carbon they're putting down there. But I don't know what dioxide, whether it's dioxide. I doubt it'll be monoxide,
carbon dioxide and monoxide are a gas. I'm not 100% sure that it would just filter its way back out again, though.
Well, no, because these are the same places where the gas was for thousands of years and didn't come out.
What?
So the point is that they're pumping it back down the wells that pumped it out.
Right. Okay. So they're taking out the propane and putting in carbon dioxide instead. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It's not a brilliant system, but it's better than nothing.
Well, I ain't going to argue with it. I mean, if it puts a little bit of less carbon dioxide, I thought they were making some like power plants out of it. That was the thing that got me confused, I suppose.
I've not seen one for turning it back into power, because it's a very difficult bond to break back apart once you've created carbon dioxide.
Well, plants manage it.
Yeah, but that's about the most efficient way of doing it. So you're literally, the best way to do it is to pump the gases from the factory into a room full of plants.
Oh, Doug says we just burn them. America just burns it. Oh.
Which is basically what the biodiesel is, because it's basically plants turned into petrol. So.
Just trying to think what to do next, because I mean, we've got 15 minutes. Is there any point me trying to do anything right now? There's not a way so far I'm aware that breaks CO2 into anything useful. Well, there is. There's fizzy drinks. Just turns it into a useful burp. He says facetiously.
Yeah, like I said, that there is, but you don't get much energy back from it. Is the point? It's not a cost-effective transfer.
Mm.
The most cost-effective transfer is to turn it into plants, which, short of them actually figuring out a way of doing proper tower systems, takes quite a lot of land. Because you have to basically build an enriching environment, so you have to cover a lot of land with tents.
You have to build it in a big sealed chamber, don't you? So
yeah,
the place is full of carbon dioxide, and because the thing is carbon dioxide sinks, whereas oxygen rises, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it's so effectively you have scrubbers. Well, what about the carbon dioxide scrubbers in like the space shuttle and the...
Yeah, like I said, the technology exists, but it's not. It costs more energy to create the scrubber than you get from scrubbing.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like, they use them in surgeries as well. They use a chemical carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide scrubber. But the amount of power that goes into making that material, you're not making any. You know, you're burning more fossil fuels to create it than you actually recover using it.
Yeah.
Because that's the part of the equation you've always got to remember is you physically have to create that stuff, and you know, it's that part of it which also makes electric cars not that viable, because you got to make the bloody batteries.
Yeah. And transport it across the world, remember?
Yeah.
Because don't forget, most of the metals needed is in Canada, which then has to go over to Japan to get made, and then transferred over to Taiwan to be put into the cars, and then finally, you know, it takes so many different people to get involved. It's just silly.
Which is why they're looking at like the hydrogen fuel cells, because
you use lithium, is it? Lithium
Yes,
hydroxide.
lithium for the batteries. They're also looking at sodium batteries, which can be quite interesting, and also dry iron batteries.
Sodium batteries, you wouldn't want to drop them in water, would you? Fuck me.
Exactly. The iron ones are interesting. If they get that technology working slightly better. The problem was it was always very inefficient.
Yes.
But material-wise, they're super cheap. So it's a matter of, yes, they might be not as efficient, but if they're super cheap to make an iron battery, it might be best to have iron batteries.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for things like buses and lorries, you know. You don't want to be fitting them out with lithium-ion cells.
No. Certainly not sodium ones. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Amount of people that could get killed on that one. I think I'm going to head back to base and we're going to start wrapping up for the end of the stream. So if you want to get yourself into some place that's fairly safe, mate.
I'm in the train depot.
Okay, so you're fucked. Right.
Hey, I'm actually surviving quite well right now. I think you driving constantly through that area of fences has dragged a lot of them away from here.
Oh, good. Glad I could help. Lead acid, yeah.
Yeah.
But then they're not efficient either, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why the dry iron is being looked at, because dry iron is even cheaper than lead acid as a material from the point of view of it's not a wet battery, so you don't have to make the acids and stuff. It's layers of iron and a separating agent. I can't remember what the separating agent is, but there is a dry iron battery that's been in use since it was manufactured over 100 years ago.
Yeah, I know that they had. I know that they had this Turkish battery, didn't they? But apparently they now think that it actually wasn't a battery. So I'm not 100% sure where we go from that point forward.
Yeah. No, this is a battery. That it's literally they still have a light bulb hooked up to it, and they charge it constantly and run a light bulb on it as part of a test of a dry iron battery.
And the bulb's not a Tesla.
No,
I don't think you'll be having Elon Musk creaming himself over that. Really,
I think it's actually up in Scotland, because if I remember correctly, that's where the technology was developed.
Well, Scotland is renowned for its inventions.
Yeah. Unfortunately, other people usually steal
them. Sorry.
like telephone people.
Yeah, it's when you find out about the stuff that Edison got up to. It's just like, what a cunt. What an absolute arsehole. He destroyed Tesla, didn't he? The actual Tesla bloke. Yeah. Taking off
and Tesla's stuff was actually better. It just wasn't quite as good as the PR.
Or had the friends in the right places.
Yeah. Well, it was the free energy for everybody bit that he had trouble getting investors with that.
Well, the funny thing is that they got investors, if I remember, in Britain to invest, or the British government to invest in electricity, or the pylon stuff. It says because simply it's something you can tax.
Yeah.
As soon as anybody mentions the T word, it's just like most governments are like, right, let's look into this, shall we? Right, I think that's going to be me. So just want to say thank you very much for watching, guys. Please, if you could possibly do so, press the old like button just to add a little bit of extra algorithmy besty stuff. If you're watching it and you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, because I need to get up to my thousands. I'm at 768 at the moment, so I mean, I'm obviously doing better than I have done in the past, but please feel free to press it, and also the like button, so not the like button, the bell icon, so you get updated every time I upload new content. I'm hoping to get some work done on Cosmeteer and come on, Richard, you can do this. Stardeus, that's the one. When my daughter goes to nursery tomorrow, so because my wife might take my daughter out, and hopefully that will get done. And of course, there's also that Friday I have a new game, which is going to be fun. I won't go too much into it, but it's interestingly talking about saving the planet. This is one of those games. Anywho, that's me done. So you have a good time, guys. I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.